Welcome to Under the Lens. Come and enjoy an extraordinary, raw, and unfiltered podcast that delivers debate, discussions, and interviews about film, pop culture, and everything in between. Here is your host, film critic and journalist, Byron Lafayette.
Today we are going back in time a bit, to 2016 and the rollout to one of the biggest and most hyped films of the decade, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. In the lead up to the release of this film, DC was doing a lot of hype and tie-ins, and one of the more unusual ones I got to cover. I had the pleasure of speaking with singer and songwriter Chris Daughtry of the rock band Daughtry. Chris is a Grammy Award-nominated musician who came in fourth place in American Idol. After the loss, he went on to have a very successful career, releasing a self-titled album that sold over 6 million copies. But many do not know that Chris is also an avid comic book fan and an artist. And in the lead up to Batman v Superman, he was asked to draw the variant cover for Batman number 50. We chat about how he felt about BVS, how he really feels about Ben Affleck as Batman, his favorite comics, and if his music inspires his work. I must warn you that since this interview was conducted over the phone, due to Chris's very busy schedule, the sound quality is not the best I could have hoped for. However, I truly hope that you enjoy this interview as much as I did conducting it. How does it feel to have an original artwork done by yourself on the cover of a comic book?
It's, for lack of being super cliche, it's really a dream come true. It's something that I wanted to do when I was like 5 years old. Wow. I wanted to be a comic artist way before I ever picked up a guitar, and so I never thought it would be the title, and I never thought that my hero would be inking it. So it's like all kinds of surreal.
Oh man, I bet. Like, what was it like working with like a legend like Jim Lee?
He's been a friend for a long time now, and over the years, I'll send him sketches and he'll kind of send me notes and ways to correct it and things like that. So he's kind of been a mentor of mine for a little while now. And when he approached me to do this cover, I didn't know he was going to be inking it, and I'm very happy to find out later that he was, because at first I thought I was penciling and inking, and I don't think I would have met that deadline.
Oh, I know how that is. Oh man, do you think that you're going to be able to work with him again?
Oh, I certainly hope so. We definitely talked about the possibility of future covers and things like that. So, keeping my hand warmed up in the meantime.
I bet, man. Well, being, obviously, an artist who's very talented in both, music and, drawing and sketching and such. Do you find that those two talents, do they inspire each other, do you think, or do they exist on separate planes?
I think it's separate planes, but for me, anything that I love to do, I put everything I have into it. But the pressure that I put on myself is pretty equal across the board, if it's something I care about. So for songwriting, I'm always trying to up anything I've done before, or definitely you got to think about what you're up against out in the market. And with this, it was like I've got Jim inking it, it's Batman, and Capullo does the cover. There's all these people that I'm wanting to, not necessarily be at their level, because obviously I'm not, but at least to somewhat hold my own in that arena. So I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself for that.
I bet, man. Well, I've seen the three different covers, and all three of them were very good. I thought they were very excellent. I thought you brought the emotion of the two characters out very well. Do you have? Oh, no problem. Do you have one of those covers that's your favorite, or do you like all of them equally?
As far as the variant,
yes.
I mean, I do like the fact that you can see some of the original pencils in there, being that it is my first cover. But I think I think just seeing the full cover and color and all its glory is my favorite.
No, yeah, that one was definitely very cool. When like you were coming up with, obviously, when you found out that you were going to be doing Batman 50 and such, was there any kind of inspiration for that particular cover? Was it a movie or was there something that influenced you?
They definitely made it clear that it is to promote Batman v Superman. So, but some artists were given the movie suits and some were given the 52 suits, and I was given 52. But so I was, I didn't want the typical like them up against each other fighting, but I did want that tension and that energy, like shit was about to go down kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I love that. My original background was a skyline, and they were, it was kind of looking up towards the buildings and the silhouette, and Jim made a decision to totally demolish them and make it more of an environment around them, and I thought that was way cooler, and it kind of framed them up really nice. So I was happy he did that.
That's cool. Yeah, it kind of draws the attention onto them.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, that's cool. What got you into comic books as a kid?
Superpowers, really. Back in like 1984, the action figures came with the comic books and stuff like that. So, and I was really into Jose Luis Garcia Lopez's art, and just kind of started drawing, and I kind of always have been drawn to, DC and Justice League, but always mostly Batman.
Well, Batman is definitely very cool. He's my favorite one. Do you have a favorite comic book that like keeps taking you back, or is there several that you like?
Yeah, there's a few of them. Hush is definitely one of my favorite Batman stories. As of like the more recent stuff, I love Endgame and Court of Owls. But as far as like going back, I mean, Killing Joke I remember as a kid seeing that book, and it was very different than any other book I'd read at that point. As far as how earnest it was and how it tackled very controversial issues and things like that. So that was always one of my favorites in the artwork. Brian Boland is incredible. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of storylines that I've loved throughout the years, but those definitely stand out.
That's very cool. Yeah, The Killing Joke is definitely a very excellent one, and as you said, very controversial for its time. Do you have a favorite superhero TV show that's on right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think Flash is definitely my favorite. And Arrow and Supergirl, I'm really digging those.
Man, yeah, those are very, very good ones. I even was able to get my mom into Flash, and she's not even that into superheroes, but she really enjoys that now.
Yeah, that show is really well done.
Yeah, as soon as it feels like kind of like a comic book just jumping right off of the screen at you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, so obviously this is probably a question you've gotten quite a lot, but are you planning on seeing Batman v Superman this weekend?
I saw it 2 nights ago, and we'll probably be going to see it again before the weekend's over.
Nice. Okay. So, is it safe to say that you're on Team Batman?
Oh, for sure, all the way.
Oh, very cool, man.
Batfleck.
Batfleck. Has he done as good as everybody is saying he's done?
He's excellent.
Excellent.
He is by far, in my opinion, the best on-screen Batman to date.
Wow, that's very cool, man. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. And so, do you see yourself going on into like designing like more comic book art and stuff in the future?
It'd be cool to to do some more covers. You know, I don't ever plan to do panel work, but yeah, I'd love to do more covers in the future.
Very awesome, man. You know, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me.
Thank
you know,
you.
I've been a fan of your music for quite a while, so this is
I really
this is an
appreciate
honor.
that. Thank you.